Welcome to Face, the program
that frontally discusses
political and social issues in Nigeria. The weekly program brought to you on Wednesday by 6 p.m. Nigerian time, anchored by Prince Ewemade Concourse, powered by GCSDN.
Join us.
Good evening and welcome to Face-to-Face. Welcome to Face-to-Face program. This is the program brought to you every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. My name is Prince Ewemade, Comrade Prince Ewemade Concourse. Our topic for today is: where are the Nigeria of the 1970s, the 80s, and the 90s gone? An analysis of the current state of Nigeria in comparison to the 1980s reveals significant changes. What factors may have contributed to these shifts, and how did we fail to anticipate it? There was a period in Nigeria history when our government boldly declared that money was not the nation's problem, but rather how to effectively utilize it. Where are those funds that were once spoken of? Remember, in the 70s, our former then head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, boldly said that money was not the problem of Nigeria, but how do we spend the money? But can we say the same thing of today's Nigeria, of the 2024 or the 21st century? But before I continue on my analysis on how we got to where we are today, I want to show you guys some video clip that will probably blow your mind away. When you look at Nigeria of the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 90s, and you compare the same Nigeria with the current Nigeria of today, oh, who did this to us? Sad, but it's the reality. What can we do? Let me quickly just show you a video clip. Sorry, it's on a good language. These were all Nigeria. Those of you remember this best five couple. This was good money. Remember this mistake. Remember this lamp. Remember vividly, we used to write every one of those. This was the 1,500. It's 504. Oh, damn. What happened to my Nigeria? What happened to my Nigeria? What happened to my Nigeria? But before we continue again, let me put another clip. Because before we'll now start talking about how we got to where we are today as a country where all the citizens' dream and hope is to jackpot from Nigeria. That is the Nigeria of today. Sad.
Where is our Nigeria? Where is our Nigeria when one muduru of rice was 200 naira? Where is our Nigeria when Titus fish was 200 naira? Where is our Nigeria where a bottle of vegetable oil was 200 naira? Where
is all Nigeria? Where a liter of fuel was 65 naira? Where is all Nigeria? Where our monthly salary can service for a month? Where is all Nigeria? When $1 was 165 naira? Where is all Nigeria? Where we eat 3 square meal in a day? Where is all Nigeria? When going to farm is not a prayer point to survive. We don't live in a Nigeria where we don't have peace of mind to travel by land and there is no money to afford a craft. Parents can no longer afford school fees. We are in the era when people go out and don't come back. Where we trade people for money. How long do we endure? How long do we survive? How long do we live? We need our Nigeria back! Give us back our Nigeria.
Where is my Nigeria? The same Nigeria that I grew up in. Where is the Nigeria? That $1, that one Nigerian money was equivalent to 100 or something US dollars. Well, 1 naira was equivalent to, I think, about 20 something pound in the 70s. 80s, Nigeria was still good. In the 90s, early 90s, Nigeria was still okay. Far, 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 far better than what we have today that we now call Nigeria. There was a time in Nigeria history where Nigerians do travel to United Kingdom, travel to Canada, the US for school, for studies, specifically for studies, not for greener pasture. And when they finish, when they graduate, they quietly, without any government asking them to leave their country, they will quietly return back to their fatherland with honor and pride. My own father, my own biological father, was among those who returned back to Nigeria in the 70s with pride and honor, with ego, with their shoulder high. And they got the best job when they returned back to Nigeria. My father was a product of that era, was one of those who came back to Nigeria in the 70s. Really, my father came back in 78 after studying for some time at the University of Birmingham. He returned back to Nigeria to serve his fatherland with honor and pride, like I said. What has happened to our nation, Nigeria? What has happened? How did we get to where we are today as a country? Who did this to us? Are they still alive so we can go and beg them to unturn whatever they have done? If it is a spell that they have laid upon our nation, we need to go and beg them. Because this is the Nigeria of today. It's not the same Nigeria. There are people like this, but put aside their differences, lay down their life. People like this, great men like this. I'm sure most of you know this great. These are great men, the heroes. These are our hero past. They fought. Some even had to move emotion without fear, without looking back and say, "Oh, whatever, I don't care what they're going to do to me after I leave this place." Move the emotion for the independence of Nigeria. This great man, Anthony Inahoro, blessed memory. That was the great Benin son who moved that motion for the independence of Nigeria. These people fought so hard. They put aside their differences to ensure that we are the nation, the country called Nigeria. Their dream was for every child born or brought up in Nigeria to have a brighter future, to have a better future, to go to school. If they dreamed, they could achieve their dream, achieve their aim and reach their potentials, be able to cater for their family, have a job, decent job that paid them well to take care of their family, without the second thought of leaving the shores of Africa to another man's land for greener pasture. When the green is more greener in our dear nation. Where is our Nigeria? Where is my Nigeria that I was born in? A nation that flows with milk and honey. Where is our Nigeria? Where is the Nigeria that Azikiwe fought for? Where is the Nigeria that Tafa Balewa, Amado Bello, Azikiwe, Pawolowo, and Anthony Nahoro? Where is the Nigeria that they fought for? How did we get to where we are today? Where is the Nigeria that never used to borrow money from any nation, any so-called World Bank or IMF loan? When we had money, our former head of state categorically on the public domain, on the public made a proclamation that we had enough money. But how do we spend that money? Where is the Nigeria, my people? The question is for you, fellow Nigerians and lovers of Nigeria. Where is our Nigeria? Where is the Nigeria of the 1970s? When great men went to school in different parts of the world and returned back with honor and pride, with their ego high and their shoulder high, with their ego and their shoulder high to serve their fatherland. Where is the Nigeria of the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s? What has happened to our nation? How did we get to where we are today as a nation? Generation yet unborn will be so disappointed on the Nigeria of today. Those who had it good, who went to school when Nigeria was good, who went to school under scholarship, when they get bursary every month, when you get free food, free meal, free book, free textbook, where is that Nigeria of the 70s, the 80s? When 1,000 naira can buy, you can buy a land. I remember my late mother bought a land for 200 naira. A land 100 by 100 at the Adolok Road from one a Gator. I'm sure that man probably is probably late by now. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about him. My mother bought a land from that man for 200 naira. Where is the Nigeria people used to build house for 3,000 naira? Where is the Nigeria that we used to buy? They used to buy Volkswagen 1,500 Beetle. We call it Beetle, Volkswagen, assembled in Nigeria. Citroen assembled in Nigeria. Peugeot 504, 505, SRO, GL. There's another pickup. There's another vehicle that was also assembled in Nigeria. I think it was called. They were using it for transportation later down the road. I forgot the name of that vehicle. They were all assembled in Nigeria. Where is the Nigeria that we used to have SCOA? Those of you who grew up in the Midwestern region, there's a place called SCOA in Mission Road in Benin, where people go there and buy brand new car. SCOA, they have Renault Citroen assembled in Nigeria. Where is that Nigeria? What has befall our nation? Who did this to us? How do we begin to apologize for them to forgive us, to reverse the cause they place upon our nation? How did we get here? Where is the Nigeria of the 70s, 80s, and 90s? The dream of every average Nigerian today is for them to borrow money, sell their property, and jackpot from Nigeria. Jackpot to go and do what? Jackpot to go and look for grass. You look for greener pasture when the grass is more greener in our land. A land filled with milk and honey. A country that is endowed with over 41 mineral resources. A country that is richer than 27 European countries. Where is our Nigeria? How did we get here, my people? Is a question that is begging for answer. Can the current president go on the public domain, public media, and tell the world that we have enough money, but our problem is how to spend it in the Nigeria of today? Can he do that? Where is our Nigeria? Our leaders have turned every Nigerians into slave in different parts of the world, going through the worst of all in our so-called comfort zone because of the state of our nation today. People are everywhere. There's no country you will not find in Nigeria. All of the failed leadership of those before us. Going through the hands of those who contribute to where we are today. They contributed one way or the other. Because what people cannot do in their country is what they are doing to us in our own country. When you are caught for bribery, caught for corruption, caught for looting illegally, you face the consequences in their country. But they connive with our leaders to extort our mineral resources. Where is our Nigeria of the 70s, of the 80s? When Nigerian president is going on a foreign trip, the head of state of that country will be the one to receive him. Can we say of the same thing today? I remember when our then head of state went to United States for a visit. It was received by the then United States president at the airport waiting for him. They don't even recognize you they don't even recognize you when you come to their country these days, except you meet them at the United Nations. Still, you guys are conniving with them to continue to destroy what our hero past suffered to build. Where is our Nigeria of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s? Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, you are still alive, but you are like someone that is not alive. You were part of those that truncated our young democracy. General Muhammadu Buhari, you were part of those who truncated our young democracy. The blood of Nigerians that have died innocently will never forgive you. Their blood and their blood is in your hand. Their blood is in your head. IBB, the man that introduced 419 brought 419 to Nigeria. Before you came into power, nobody knows anything about 419. It was during your era 419 was introduced to Nigeria. That later became a cancer in the Nigerian society. Where is our Nigeria of the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s? My fellow Nigerians, how do we get out of this mess? How do we leave this current state that the failed demonic leaders have put us in? How do we begin to fight our way out of this? Our silence as a people, everyone, including myself, our silence as a people has brought us to our knees today. Most of the things that is happening in our society today, dare not happen in a country like South Africa. South Africans will rebel against their government. They will go on the street. They don't care how many are you going to shoot. The more you shoot, the more they come out until you get tired. Our silence as a people is one of the biggest problems we have as Nigerians. Our silence. We've been too silent for too long. Like I always say, revolution without ammunition is our only only way forward. Taking the government from the greedy, from the cacaworms and the palmer worm that has eaten our nation dry, eating all the stem, the root of our foundation. We need to take back our country from them. Chase them away, let them go to exile as well. Go and face what Nigerians are going through in other mass country. But there must be no blood shed on our street, because they've shed too much blood of Nigerians. Too much blood has been shed. We don't want any of our compatriots being killed. But there must be a revolution, a peaceful revolution without ammunition. If we can embark on the same journey of the NSAS, paralyze everything in the country, civil disobedience, let everybody stay home, don't go anywhere. If you want to stay on the street, stay on the street. As long as we can, those who can cook, who can do whatever, feed people, support everyone. Let's do it together and take our country back. This is not the nation that those before you fought for. This is not the nation that Tafawa Balewa, Ahmadu Bello, Azikiwe, Awolowo, Enahoro. This is not the nation they fought for. They fought for something much better than this. We cannot continue to endure this. Now, this is not the Nigeria they fought for. They've put aside their differences in order to ensure that we had independence. Where is our Nigeria? Where is my Nigeria? The country that I was born in. A country that filled with milk and honey. Where is the Nigeria that you were born in? A country that is so blessed that none of citizens deserve to go to another man's land to go and work. Not to even just go. If you want to go, you go and study and come back home. That was the norm of the 70s. That was the norm of the 80s. Until Babangida came and truncated our young democracy. We thought we had it good then. Well, I can always tell people, when you talk about Nigeria issues, you always have to have paracetamol by your side. Very sad. It's for me, it's painful. I've been privileged to be around. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in this developed part of this war of the world. One of these days, I will share you a mind-boggling occurrences or issues that I've experienced over some years for the past 5 years now. I have it on my book. There's a book I wrote. That book is specifically for people to read if anything there happens to me now. The book is called My Ghost Will Haunt You. It's a book. The book is finished completely, but I'm here to make it available to the public. Things that I've been through ordinarily, if my country was good, I would be in another man's land going through all those things. Someone trying to silence me for writing what I know about. I'm working on a documentary that I'm going to unveil to the world, because it's about time the world knows what's going on. How wicked people can be in this part of the world. How wicked they can be. How far they can go to silence you. Because when they are afraid of you when you speak. They are afraid of your kind of person. That day will come. But where is my Nigeria of the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s? I am someone, I have seen it. I've seen, like Dr. Martin Luther King once said, I have been to the mountaintop. I am not afraid of any man now. I will continue to speak. Even on my dying bed, I will still speak when that day comes. Where is my Nigeria? My fellow Nigerians, patriotic citizens of our great nation, those who still find time in spite of their busy schedule to speak up for their dear nation. May God be pleased with all your work. And for those of you who think because you are in your comfort zone, there's no need for you to speak because Nigeria is gone, dead and buried. I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, have a rethink. Nigeria will be great again if we all continue to speak up. Until next week, same time, same place, I hope to see you guys again.